a can of, a can of salmon. Now, if you've ever made these or watched somebody make them, you know there's a little bit of work involved. So I like to do these. I like to do make ahead. So I'm actually, we're going to eat these tomorrow. So I'm going to prepare them today. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I need to take off the skin on the back. Now, if you like that skin, by all means, keep that in your recipe. I don't want it in mine though. Okay. Now you got to be careful because there are some tiny little bones in there that you're going to encounter. But anyway, you're just going to go through and get the skin off. Make sure that there's no bones in here. Now you can use gloves if you want, but it's just me. So I said we're going to eat, but we meant my dog tomorrow. If there's anything left for him, he'll make sure there's some left. And yes, I already checked. He can eat this. So I'm one of those people, before I just assume that he can eat it, I always check. You know what I found out earlier this week? That grapes are deadly to dogs. I hope none of you guys have had a situation where your dog got sick from eating grapes, or maybe something else that you didn't know that he or she could have. And I'm just going through, making sure that I'm getting all the bones off. See those bones? I don't want to eat my food and have a bone in it. That's the worst. So, and I don't like the dark meat right here, so I always just take that away. But again, if you like that, then leave it in there. This doesn't take a long time to do, but it does add a little prep time to the meal. So what I like to do, if, like I said, if I know I'm gonna want some of this, I'll just make it the night before. Form the patties, and then that way when I get ready for them the next day or later on in the day, the patties are already formed. The only thing that I need to do at that point is bread and fry. Okay, so let me get my hands clean. Okay, so we're going to move this out of the way. Now, what I like to do is either you can use flour if you want. You can use breadcrumbs. You can use crushed crackers. I don't have any breadcrumbs, so I do have flour, but I'd rather have the buttery crackers. So we're just going to crush some crackers. What I have here is just a few crackers. We'll see if we need more. And just throw them in a plastic bag. I have my, I'm going to throw that on in there. I have my rolling pin. But you don't necessarily need to use that. You can just crumple them up just like this. Okay, that's not going to be enough, but I just want to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to just throw that in. Okay, I'm going to get a few more crackers. Now you can use Ritz crackers, Townhouse crackers, saltines. I'm just using the Great Value almost Ritz crackers. Great Value should be sponsoring my videos because I use a lot of their products. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is I have some onion, and as always I'm going to make sure that I link on the screen and also in the description box how much of each ingredient that I used. So now I have some onion. Now I chop the onion. Some pieces are larger than others. It doesn't matter. However, whatever size you want your onions to be, have some fun. Now I have an egg. Just one egg. Well, one egg for one can. How about that? Okay. I have a little black pepper. It's got salt in it, sodium, so I don't go too crazy with adding salt to it. You can if you want. You also can taste it if you like, because it's already, you know, it's already cooked, so you can taste it. It won't hurt anything if you do. Okay, so you're going to use the juice of a fresh lemon, or you can use lemon juice. It's up to you, whichever one you want to do. Not a lot. You don't need a lot unless you like a lot. Then have some fun. And guess what? We're getting close to being done with this. Okay. Now, Old Bay. Old Bay is my jam. So if you don't like Old Bay, don't use it. Okay. I'm just kind of giving you guys a guide. If you don't like some of these ingredients, by all means substitute or leave them out. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to check to see if this is going to form. Yeah, that's enough bread in there to form a patty. I think I might add a little bit more. Okay. Don't be afraid to get your hands in there. Just make sure your hands are clean. It's all good. Okay. So now I'm going to taste mine and make sure it's got everything I need. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. Okay. Now the size that you make them, that you form them into, is up to you. I tell you what, I've got a recipe on here for homemade biscuits. This plus some biscuits, maybe drizzle a little bit of honey or syrup across the biscuits with some rice. That's how we used to. That's how we do in Memphis. I'm from Memphis. I don't live in Memphis right now, but that's what we used to do. Salmon patties or salmon croquettes and rice and biscuits. And guys, you don't have to just have this for breakfast. You can have it for dinner. You can use it for, you know, if you're having folks coming over for a nice brunch. Or you can just use it because you're hungry. Okay. Now, this little guy right here is kind of a bonus. He's so tiny. He's cute though, right? Don't you think he's cute? I think he is. Okay. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take that and just kind of divvy it up amongst these and make them a little larger. Now, some people like to form them and keep them in a ball like that. That's fine. I like to patty mine out, though. Not super thin, but not super thick either. And if you want to use gloves, like I said, do your thing. This is for me, so I don't have to do all that. Okay, so we have some plastic wrap. I'm just going to cover them with plastic wrap. We're going to bread them tomorrow and fry them, and you'll see how I do. It is the next morning, and I am ready to fry my salmon croquettes. I said salmon croquet in the other video, so my bad. But anywho, they have chilled all night. Again, you don't have to do this, but I wasn't ready to eat them. And so what I have is I've got some cornmeal. Now you can fry them in flour if you like. You can fry them in wheat germ. You can crush some crackers, some butter crackers, and fry them in that. It's up to you. I've got just some vegetable oil in here. Again, the type of oil that you use is totally up to you. So we're going to bread these puppies and then get them frying. So if you like, you can grab a bag and bread these, but I'm just going to make a little pile of cornmeal, a cornmeal pile, and just bread them right here on the plate. Okay. Make sure you get the sides and everything. And if you like more crust on it, what you can do is bread them, let them sit for about 10 minutes, and then roll them in the breading again. It's up to you. Okay, and we're just going to let these hang out until our oil gets hot. You want to get your oil to about 350 degrees. And then you're only going to fry them for about 5 minutes or so, just until you have a nice, beautiful crust on them. I'll meet you at the stove. Stick that in. And just let them fry until they're a nice golden brown. Now please be careful with this oil. I don't want you guys to hurt yourself. And if you're nervous about whether or not you'll get your fingers in there, you can just slide it on a spatula and then put it in the skillet that way. Been frying now for about 2 minutes, and you can already see that they're starting to brown. They smell so yummy, guys, when they're cooking. I'm using a non-stick pan. You can use a cast iron skillet if you like. It's totally up to you. Maybe let that brown a little more before I turn it over. So don't be like me. Don't get hungry and then get anxious and start cooking that way. You guys will see I dropped my pan and it's got a little dent in it. But I love this pan. I got it on Black Friday from Walmart. It's a Tefal pan, but it was 10 bucks on Black Friday. I'm a Black Friday junkie. Anybody else out there wait for Black Friday deals? Right now it's Amazon Prime. I think it starts today or tomorrow. So make sure you guys look for deals on there as well. So these are starting to brown. Isn't that a pretty golden brown right there? And sometimes they may break up a little bit, so you just want to make sure that you are not handling them too roughly, because you want to try to keep that patty form there. I made homemade biscuits, so I'm going to have biscuits and salmon croquettes, salmon patties, whatever you prefer to say. You can use, like I said, whatever oil you want to use. I'm using just some vegetable oil. It's up to you what you choose to fry them in. Smells so good. Now be careful. I'm standing in front of the stove just because I want you guys to see the process. But you really don't want to get in the habit of standing right on top of the stove. That can be the danger zone, you know. I'm a nurse, so I have to take care of you guys' health too. Okay, they've been frying now for about 6 minutes. And as you can see, on both sides, they are a beautiful golden brown. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull them out. They are ready to eat. I don't like super hot food though, so I'm going to let them cool before I eat them. I have a flat top, and so my skillet's spinning around. Okay, so guys, that is it for our salmon croquette video, salmon patty video. I made some homemade biscuits last night, so I'm going to enjoy these, or one of these, with a homemade biscuit. And if you are looking for a homemade biscuit recipe, make sure that you go and check out that recipe. And this is one of the homemade biscuits that I made last night. Super thick, super buttery, amazing. So guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Although I do want you guys to see what they look like on the inside. You see, you only cook them for 6 minutes, but you see how piping hot they are. You can see that steam coming off of them. I just line a little dish with paper towels so you can soak up some of that grease. But anywho, isn't that wonderful? Let me give it a try. That's good.